All right. Well, Dad, last time we talked, we covered your life, quite a bit of your life, up until the time you were living in Maplewood, and then you had just moved to Wyoming. But one of the things we hadn't talked about was things you did for fun, how you enjoyed yourself. So let's go back to when you lived on the farm. What were your hobbies? What did you like doing? What was fun?
Not much.
Well, you had brothers and sisters. Were there and your mom and dad and I guess some
Well,
neighbors? What did
neighbors, uh, we had uh, boy neighbors that came over to play with us occasionally.
okay? And what would you guys do when you were just playing with other kids?
Well, the usual games plus corncob fights.
Corncob fights. Okay. What's a is that just throwing corn cobs at each other?
Yes.
Okay. Until the other person said I give, huh?
Until Uncle T. Kroger dropped him his corn cobs in the spring.
Uh, oh, what would that do? Putting the corn cobs in the spring? Would that?
That made him well heavier, and
And hurt more? Nice.
yeah,
All right. So don't play corn cob fighting with T. Koger, is what I'm learning here.
well, T died in 92.
Yeah. T was your dad's younger half brother.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Um, what about were there hobbies or things that you did that you enjoyed that weren't exactly games, like working on equipment or building things or
Not really. Uh, it seems that that had to be done as a chore.
okay. Um, you told me once that while your dad was in Wyoming doing lumber work, you and your brother Junior built a machine that your dad thought was really dangerous. Do you remember that?
Yes, this was a corn cutter.
Okay, what did it do? Why did you build the corn cutter?
Oh, well, we took up 12 acres of corn that year and cut it and uh, cured it out for feed.
Okay. Tell me,
It didn't make corn.
what is a corn how do you make a corn cutter? How did you make a corn cutter?
Well, we took an old desk uh, and rigged knives on it uh, to follow the rows. And we uh, had a 2-row corn cutter, uh, one on each side.
Okay. One on each side of the row?
Yeah, one on each side of the machine.
One on each side of the machine. So how many rows of corn would you cut at a time?
two.
Two. Okay. And
It was dangerous.
well, were the knives moving?
No, they were stationary,
Okay.
but all of what it took for a disaster would be to get a leg in a knife.
Yeah. Neither you nor Junior ever got hurt on that machine, right?
No,
Did you use it to bring in the corn that year?
yes,
Okay. And did it work?
yes. Surprisingly, it worked.
Okay. So were you able to bring in your 12 acres of corn faster than you would have if you hadn't had it?
That's debatable.
Oh, okay. All right. But it was more fun making the machine, though, I guess, right?
Yeah. We also, that summer, put a hay carriage in the barn and built a chicken house.
Wow. And you were 12 and Junior was 14 or 15, right?
Yes.
Wow. That's pretty neat that you guys were doing it. Did Junior take the lead on that, or did you take the lead, or who knew how to do all this?
Uh, Junior was mostly in charge.
Okay. And did he have like instruction books, or had
No.
you guys had just seen these before and figured it out, huh?
Well, the hay carriage in the barn was in the old barn
Okay.
when it blew away in 36.
Okay.
And it was mainly 4x4s strung from the roof on hooks on 2 feet centers. And we had the hay rope from the old barn.
Okay. So how would you get the hay up onto those hooks?
We had hay forks that were supposedly for a hay carriage. One of them was a eagle claw, a type arrangement, and it would pick up about half a wagon load at a time.
Oh my gosh.
And then we had a harpoon that would pick up around it, and we had a double harpoon that was about 2 feet wide, and it would pick up everything around it, and between the legs of it, that was
Now are these harpoons picking up bales of hay, or is this just loose hay out of a wagon?
loose hay out of a wagon.
Gotcha. Okay.
We did also take in about 12 acres of hay that year.
Okay. And so are you just putting the hay, you're bringing the hay to the barn in a wagon, and then this eagle claw or one of the harpoons comes forward, I guess, and grabs it and then picks it up and takes it inside the barn? Is that how that works?
Well, the rope attached to the eagle claw, and we pull on the rope with the horse,
Okay. So you
and that raised the uh, hay uh, on the rope, and it would go up and attached to a carriage, and the carriage run on the 4x4s,
okay.
and then we would prick up. We would uh, position the carriage in the barn and then jump it.
And then jump
We,
into it?
yeah,
With,
no, we would dump it.
dump it. That makes more sense. All right. So you're putting the hay in the barn. Did you ever bale it or did it stay loose?
We build it sometimes, but that summer we took it up loose
Okay.
and stuck it in the barn.
Okay. Okay. And then my understanding is that hay, when it's just cut, gives off a lot of heat. As it composts.
Well, we tried to let the hay cure out before we took it up. We didn't have any problems with it that year, but Uncle Monty says he saw a barn burn down from a spontaneous combustion once.
Yeah, yeah. So how long after you cut the hay, how long would you let it cure in the field before you would pick it up?
Usually 2 or 3 days,
Oh, okay.
and we would rake it up and stack it up and shocks, which was a small stack of hay,
Okay.
and we would go along with the wagon and turn those shocks up on the wagon.
Okay. And were you using just rakes and hay forks, or were you using other equipment to do that?
No, or just rakes and hay forks.
Okay, so this was hard work.
Yeah, we did use a windrower, which was a hay rake, and it was horse drawn,
Okay.
and we would go across the field and dump the hay rake in rows as we go across the field. The hay rake was about 10 feet wide and had loop tines on it and it would pick up the hay after it was mowed, and we dump it in rows, and then we would go along those rows with the wagon and pick it up and haul it to the barn.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, now we kind of got off topic because what I wanted to talk about was things you did for fun, and we talked about corncob fights, and we talked about you enjoyed doing a little bit of that mechanical work. I know I've also heard that you had one of your hobbies was shooting rats or mice. You had a 22 pistol. Was that right?
Yes.
All right. How often did you go rat hunting when you were a kid?
Well, there often was rats in the corn cribs or barn, and Dad put a bounty on them, a nickel a rat.
Wow. All right. Well,
And we would stand in the hallway between our cribs.
mm-hmm.
It was about 12 feet across the hallway, and rats would run from one side to the other, and we'd draw and shoot.
Oh, Old West style, huh?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you didn't hit that off.
No, but it was certainly fun.
How much did a 22 bullet cost back then?
A box of 22 shells was 50 cents a box.
All right.
There was 50 shells.
All right. So you got to hit or you got to hit 10 rats to pay for a box of bullets, huh?
Yeah. Well, we would go out to the barn and shoot rats that came out. They would crawl out of the barn under the foundation, which are logs,
mm-hmm.
and they would drink the dew that was dripping off the roof.
Okay. Did you have barn cats or any kind of rat predators around?
No.
Okay. What about hunting? Did you guys hunt for fun, or was hunting just something you did to keep meat in the house?
Well, a little of both. We seldom deer hunt.
Okay.
Until Mr. Thompson moved across the field, we didn't know how to dress deer field dress.
Oh, okay. So he taught you how to do that. Mr.
Yes.
Thompson did. Now, wouldn't you field dress a deer? I mean, you slaughtered your own hogs. Wouldn't it just do it the same way you field dress a deer? Wouldn't you do that the same way as you do a hog?
Pretty much, but he knew the finer points of it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, other than deer hunting, what other kind of hunting did you do when you were a kid?
Squirrel
Okay.
and rabbit.
All right. Were there's a lot of wild hogs out in those woods now. Did you have wild hogs in the woods when you were a kid?
No, they're a later addition.
Okay. All right. So, what did you use when you would deer hunt? What kind of rifle did you use?
Mostly the 30-30 that was Uncle T. Cougar's, and it's downstairs in the safe right now.
Wow. Okay.
And a full box of ammunition.
All right. And then what did you use when you were squirrel and rabbit hunting?
A 22,
Okay.
a single shot.
Oh, okay. Didn't give yourself much room to follow up if you didn't if you
No,
you either hit it or you.
but we used that 22 for rats also.
Gotcha. Did you do any bird hunting, duck or geese or quail or?
No, Uncle Colt T came out and bird hunted occasionally, but he was living in town, and this was before he moved to Washington State.
Okay. All right. All right. So it sounds like pretty much, I mean, just kind of goofing off with other kids, playing with, or, doing something mechanical or hunting was kind of how you entertained yourself when you weren't doing chores. Was there anything else?
That was predominantly uh, how we did a spare time.
Okay. You did.
Well, they was two neighbors that it came over occasionally, Sydney Stubbs and Red Lambert.
What'd you do with Sydney or Red? Did you guys, I mean, just hang out, throw corn cobs at each other? Did you read? I mean, what did you do when these guys came over?
Corn cob fight.
Okay.
And I gave her the wrong name for Lambert.
Okay.
It was Hogilin.
Hogilin. Okay. What about like racing horse? You had horses. Did you guys ever like race horses?
Yes.
Okay.
Race horses. But I'll tell you about Red Hoagland.
Okay.
Many years later, I was at David's new house, and he was celebrating his birthday, and some guy asked him whose Buick out there with Florida plates on it was his. And David told him it was mine, and he says, I don't remember him. And then I came in and David says, do you know who this is? And I says, I haven't a foggiest idea. And he says, I'm Red Hoagland. Well, I used to know a red-headed boy that came over to play with David, but when I was living in Florida, there was a car dealer 2 cities over in Winter Haven, Florida, that was Red Hoagland, and I didn't have an idea that he was the same one.
Wow. All right. Well, that's cool. All right. So,
there was also a third boy that came to visit once in a while. I learned to ride on his bicycle.
oh, nice.
His name was Johnny McKenzie.
Okay.
No, it was Johnny Marshbanks.
Johnny Barshmix. Okay.
Marshbanks.
Marshbanks. All right.
Yeah.
Was he your age or one of your brothers?
He was my age,
Okay.
but he had rode his bicycle out from town to visit us.
That's a long ride.
Yes.
Wow. All right. All right. Well, what about when you were down in Louisiana? What did you do for fun when you moved down there?
Shot snakes.
Okay. All right. What kind of snakes were you shooting?
Water snakes mostly.
Okay. Were they like water moccasins or just water snakes? Just whatever.
Both.
Both. Okay.
We couldn't tell the difference.
How thick were the snakes in Louisiana when you were out in the swamps?
Well, we were mapping a spoil bank through the marsh, and the spoil bank was about a dragline ditch through the marsh.
Okay.
And it clumps where every feet or so. And we our engineer boss was Chuck Harding, and he claimed to be the grandson of Warren G. Harding.
Oh. All right.
And he came down one day and pinned the Rodman down on how often the snakes are thick the snakes were. And the native Rodman, Bobby Trahan, but he told him that you didn't go 10 feet from snake to snake.
Oh, wow. Was that true?
Yes,
Holy cow.
it was water snakes and cottonmouths.
Did you
And
wear... Go ahead. Did you wear any protective equipment, like tall boots or...
I had a pair of Marine Corps boots.
Okay. Were you ever bit by a
No,
snake?
No, never been bit, but we had one guy bit. The Bobby Trahan was teasing a snake on the ground with a machete, and he dropped the machete and reached down to pick it up, and the snake nailed him.
Wow. What happened after he got bit?
Howard called him, carried him a quarter of a mile. He promptly fainted.
Well,
But Howard called him, carried him a quarter of a mile back to the truck.
and Howard is your brother, Howard.
Yes,
Okay.
and he worked with me some bit down there. He came down in January. He had been working in Kansas City for Sir Roebuck, I think, and he got laid off after Christmas,
Okay.
and Russ, my engineer, needed another rodman, so he had me write to Howard and have him come down and he heard him.
Okay. So the rodman who got his hand bit by the cottonmouth, did he lose the hand?
No,
He got better?
he was bit by a not poisonous snake.
Oh, it wasn't a cottonmouth. It was just a regular water snake, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that's embarrassing for him. Okay.
Well, me and Russ was in a rented boat once on the intercoastal waterway, and we got over to the side to let the barge go by, and the snake dropped in the boat, and I was in the back. I was in the front, and Russ was in the back. He ran the motor. It had a little 3 horsepower egg beater
Uh-huh.
on it, and the bottom of the boat was a 4 by sheet of plywood, big boat.
Yeah.
And Russ says, "Well, shoot him." And I shot the snake, and the bullet went through the bottom, and a little spring started.
Oh, nice. All right.
We plugged the hole with a twig, and it was still in there when we turned the boat in. It was a rented boat.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, from Louisiana, you next moved to East St. Louis, right?
I think that's right.
All right. What did you do for fun? And you were living with your uncle, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you were living with your uncle, working in East St. Louis, what did you do for fun then?
Nothing.
Nothing. You didn't go out on dates. You didn't go bowling.
No.
You didn't do.
No.
No.
I dug stumps in his front yard.
Oh, that doesn't sound like fun at all. Okay.
It wasn't.
Where did you move from East? Oh, you moved back to the farm then, right?
Well, I lost my eye during that time,
Right.
and I went back to the farm to regroup.
Yeah. Okay. Well, while you were back on the farm, obviously you weren't throwing corn cobs at anybody. Were you doing anything to kind of amuse yourself? What about reading? Your mom was a school teacher. Did you guys read a lot?
No, read the Kansas City Star,
Okay.
which came every Wednesday.
Ah. All right.
That was a total your printed material till we got in high school.
Wow. So you didn't have any books at home? Nope.
Not much.
Okay.
I had a joke book that I think it had belonged to Uncle T.
Nice.
But it came to a bad end. When Jay bulldozed the house, he had burned it, and the joke book was in the house.
Oh, the house made it all the way until you burned the house down, huh?
He bulldozed it and then set it on fire and buried the ashes.
Okay. And why did he do that? Was the house just dilapidated and unsafe?
Yes.
Okay.
And all kinds of people wanted to rent it.
Oh.
And it was beyond renting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. All right. So then you moved back to St. Louis and you were living in the Maplewood area, right? And you talked about you had some friends, you had a couple guys that you hung out with, and you guys did double dates together. Um, and you went to movies together. Um, did you guys, I mean, did you do anything else? Did you bowl? Did you?
Yes, we bowled, and uh, by then I had noticed girls,
Uh-huh.
and uh, I always had a girlfriend.
Okay. And when you would go out on dates, would you typically go to movies, go out to dinner, did you go dancing? What did you like to do when you'd go out on dates?
Go to the drive-in.
Oh. All right. All right. Um, when we lived in High Ridge and I was a little kid, I remember you had a collection of 45 records. Was that your collection or mom's?
Uh, I think that was mine.
Okay. And it had a pretty wide selection of music. There were Beatles and the Animals and the Turtles, and then a lot of country music.
And a lot of country music.
Yeah, yeah. So I listened to more the Turtles and the Beatles, but I know that it had a lot. So you had a wide range of tastes when you were buying those records.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. So was listening to music one of your hobbies?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I never learned to play an instrument, though. That's one of my regrets of life.
Yeah. Mine too. All right. All right. Then from Maplewood, let's see. Oh, from Maplewood, okay, if I remember the story right, you had a girlfriend who you needed to kind of get out of town because she was starting to kind of see a cop, right?
Yes.
All right, and you moved to Wyoming. Is that
Yes.
right? What did you do for fun out in Wyoming?
Not much. The road group who I worked for, a third in Wyoming, I started with a logging camp for Lars Johnson, and then I broke a finger, and it was in Laramie getting it set, and ran into an electrical contractor that had.
You have no numbers listed for Alex Quintar. Do you know their phone number?
Hush.
So you're in Laramie getting your finger set, and you run into an electrician.
An electrical contractor.
Okay.
Kennedy was his name, and he was like the Scrooge. He was a partner with White, and White had died, and it said on the shop over the door, a White Kennedy.
It is the Scrooge story.
Yeah.
All right, hold on one second.